The third thing you can do, it's common sense, but it's important. Sometimes it's so intuitive that people forget about it, and that is to safeguard your nutritional environment against binge eating. So my weakness, and we all have them, my weakness is salty snack food. So I love potato chips. Salt and vinegar potato chips, oh my gosh, I will go crazy if I can get my hands on them. So does Dr. Ann buy big bags of salt, vinegar potato chips? No, no, no. I keep them out of my house by and large. So whatever foods that you are vulnerable to binging on, ice cream's a big one, cookies a big one, donuts, chips, don't have them. If they're not there, it's not an option. Another useful strategy in this regard is to come up with what I call healthy substitutes. So let's say your weakness or your favorite binge food is ice cream. Well, what about, instead of having ice cream in your freezer, what about getting 100% fruit sorbets? Or what about freezing some bananas or freezing some grapes? You'll be surprised. They're cold, they got a little sweet. Another good example, and this is something I do, again, I'm the chip week for chips, is what about air pop popcorn instead of the chips? Or how about whole grain crackers? There are lots of wonderful whole grain crackers now available. They're salty, they're crunchy, they got a nice flavor. Another thing, if your weakness is like Starburst or candy, you can take dried apricots. And if you put them in the freezer, they turn to like gummy bears. They're really, really good. So that's another little tip. And again, you know what you're vulnerable to, and think of a healthier alternative. That can make a big difference. The fourth thing you can do is to come up with an alternative pleasurable activity. Again, why are we binging? It typically is either we are stressed or anxious or down and we're trying to do something that gives us self-pleasure. Sometimes we're actually really, really happy and we're binging to reward ourselves. I sometimes do that. So what you can do is, what are some other things that may be able to give you that acute pleasure? What about taking a bubble bath and a warm tub, bubble bath, and light some lavender candles, you get a little aromatherapy going. What about getting a foot massage or a head massage? What about having a child or your significant other give you, tickle your back, or you could have a little sex? It's true. All of these things really do boost endorphins. So the other thing you can do is, if it really is a regular problem, talk to a friend about it and say, you know what, when I feel the urge to binge, I'm going to make a pact with you that I'm going to call you and I'm going to talk to you when I'm feeling that urge. And so you need to be available, but I want you to know sort of on the record that when I call you and say, I'm feeling the urge, you need to give me some support and some positive feedback. And then one last thing, a lot of people tend to binge on a food that they have, for some compulsive reason, decided to sort of dramatically restrict out of their lives, and that can backfire on you, meaning we know it can kind of precipitate binging. So, for example, I've already told you that my weakness is salty, crunchy snack foods like chips, especially the vinegar chips. So what do? I don't keep them in my house regularly, but you better believe on Saturday when I have my lunch, Dr. Ann buys herself a bag of usually reduced fat, salt and vinegar chips. And I have that as part of my lunch every Saturday. So the point is, if you can learn to include the foods that you're most tempted by in moderation, right, especially in a situation where you are in control, then over time, a lot of times, the binge eating will stop. So I hope that helps you.